My name is Alex Alassane from the Faculty of Business Management and the Department of Leadership and Governance at the Open University of Tanzania. Today we will have a look on this course called Performance Management, that is OLG 117. And this is the knowledge area 3 that comprises of three things. That is administration performance management, learning performance management, and the rewards performance management. These are three things that we have a discussion on this knowledge area 3 and are very important to understand and to be aware of them. Let's commence with this administration in performance management. Administration in performance management, it is a continuous process, and in performance management introduced in the previous session requires a strong backup of effective administration. What we learned in the last session is very important, and this creates a very important and vital base on performance management, and that is administration. And administration is the backup to this performance management in its whole process. Employee learning and reward system. Here, in this knowledge area 3, we are going to discuss some of the issues that are very crucial into details about the aspects of and establishment of the link to employees. So we will link employee performance and the performance at large. These are two things we have to understand: employee performance and performance management at large. In this part, we will cover the lectures on performance management, administration I've said, performance management in learning, and performance management in rewards. It has been already discussed in the previous lectures that it is the process of performance management as practiced by managers that are important, not the contents of the system and how it is administered. And the content often consists of largely of forms. The inlegers with which forms are completed is not important. There is a purpose. Their purpose is no more than that of recording views and decisions. They are not ends in themselves. So there is a continuation now of understanding these concepts and how performance management relates to administration. Similarly, administrative procedures should not weigh down performance management. It is important to establish the principles of performance management and get everyone to buy into them. But administration and control procedures should be carried out with a light touch. There should be scope for managers to decide on their own detailed approaches, conjunction with their staff, as long as they abide by the guiding principles. So performance management practice should indeed be monitored through the evaluation approaches. That's a very important concept to understand. This may reveal the need for individuals managers to receive more guidance of training, but oppressive control will only prejudice managers against the process that they will think has been imposed upon them. So we have not to make different issues here to understand upon the issues of behavior and attitude that is being induced within the workers, within the employees, in relation to managers or the line managers that control the whole process. Performance management is not just a form-filling exercise, as many traditional merit rating of performance applies schemes appeared to be. Performance management is not just the issue or just filling the forms. You just come out here, the employee, fill your names, fill whatever, all the details. But performance management is wider than that. So when you talk about performance management, comprises a lot of issues, a lot of behaviors of the workers, a lot of attitude of the workers, skills that are required, not just filling the forms. And now, as a case, let us see the purpose of administration to performance management. There is much to be said for having a format that can help in the ordering and the presentation of plans and the comments and act as admired for reference during the year. So when we talk about performance management, upon administration in relation to performance management, there are some things that we have to consider and put them into considerations. That there is much things, format that can help us now to administer performance management as well. A set, the existence of a form or a set of forms does not demonstrate that this is a process that managers, but that managers and their staffs are expected to take seriously. Number one, we have to see to what extent are these working documents for use by managers and their staffs? Those are the questions that now we have to ask. For what information does the HR department need about the outcome of the performance review? How is the quality of performance review to be assured? How can employees be reassured that they will not become their victims of biased reports? So those are the questions that we have to consider and we have to respond to them. Performance management forms as working document. I've said it previously that we need to have a format that will help us now to administer this performance management for reference, for the purpose of reference, to see the past performance, the past output, how the workers responded to their duties, how the employees were responsible, were answerable, were accountable to their duties. So documentation is very important also. But we will say later, and we have discussed that all these issues have to be considered very careful, as performance management is not just an exercise of just filling forms. It is the process that involves a lot of issues. Now let us see performance management forms as working documents. There is no doubt that the main purpose of any performance management form is to serve as a working document. That's to consider and to put into consideration. Performance management form is to serve as a working document. It helps us now to recall some of the issues. They should be in a continued use by managers and individuals as references. Document on the objectives and plans when reviewing progresses. So when we review progress, where we were before and where we are and where we want to move to. So through this document, as we planned earlier, and we saw and put some objectives and plans, then when reviewing the progress of our organizations and employees and different streams in organization, so we use this document to make us, or as a reference, that we planned this and we have done this. We expected to do this and then we have done this. So it's very important to us to see that. Now, as for this reason, the form should be owned by the manager and individuals. Now, listen very carefully here. Performance forms as a working document, it should involve the two parts. It should not just be owned by one part. Managers or the officers or the line managers should now in relation to individuals. Both the individual and the manager should own this. They should have the sense of ownership about this form, as they have now to be sharing the informations. What were the objectives they planned together? All plans were put together between the managers and agreement were made. So when that process is done, that we assume that is there is the involvement of the two parts. That's the managers on this form and the individuals on this form. Any information, now note this, any information the HR department needs in letting or for performance-related pay or career planning purposes or request for training should be incorporated in a separate form for their use. That's also, there's no need of just mixing much the information. The employee can still be protected against unfair assessment and letting by providing for the manager, so the grandparent. So there is in front here between the employees and the manager. Also, there must be people behind the scene again monitoring this manager to avoid bias in rating. That's also very important. As I know here, I'm speaking to different people, CEOs and the other managers and officers. So this is very important. Also, makes an employee to feel comfortable as when we eliminate some of the issues that will bring biases. Information for HR department. Let us see now some information for HR department. The HR department. So we are talking this. Remember, we are still in the administration for the performance in administration. That's, you have to be careful. That's why we are talking about the managers, the documents, and also human resource department as officers. They have to understand very careful as they are the one who carry these activities and implement it. The HR department may need to know sometimes who the high flyers are for development and career planning. That's why there is a document for performance management. Who are the people who are performing badly? To consider with the line manager what action need to be taken. Those are the information that can be drawn from the document of performance. Performance rating for performance related pay decisions. Now, how can we pay? How can we promote this? It will be based on the performance management document. Recommendation on training to assess any common training needs and to initiate training action. All this information can be drawn from the document of performance management about the performance of any individual who might be considered for promotion, transfer, or disciplinary action. That difference will be made from performance management document. That's why we say performance management is very crucial, very important in the organization. And to monitor it, to administrate it, very careful and very well. Another factor that helps to persuade many organizations to hold copies of the review forms centrally is that a decision in unfair dismissal case may depend on the quality of record keeping as well as the honesty of the performance review process. Performance review forms may be required for evidence. So we have dismissed these people. Although for disciplinary issues or other issues that they have failed to be accountable to their responsibilities and duties. So the document from performance management will be required as an evidence. Now, this can create a problem if a manager who has produced bland, superficial, but generally favorable reports on an employee is later allowed to take disciplinary action for incapability. So, employment tribunals do not look with favor on this type of inconsistency. It is always necessary for the HR department to compare review reports with the picture painted by managers when the latter request disciplinary actions and to question any inconsistency. The approach adopted by most organizations is to require at least a copy of the review form to be held centrally together with a copy of the performance agreement. So we have said that agreement is made between the managers and the individuals so that they may have the sense of ownership. Now we have discussed these documents, or let us see now the the form design of the document. When designing a performance management form, the aim should be to keep them as simple and brief as possible, while allowing ample white space for comment. That's very important to note. I will repeat on this. When designing performance management forms, the aim should be to keep them as simple and briefly as possible, while allowing ample white space for comment. That's the sense now of ownership, that at the end or at any place that we make these forms, there must be a space, an ample space, white ample space for just some comments, like, oh, good forms. They should be self-explanation and explanatory, but they may be supplemented by notes for guidance. Although documentation should be kept to a minimum, such document as used should be well designed and presented. A typical form will be illustrated later. There are many varieties of performance management forms used by different organizations. Some more elaborate with, for example, special performance planner form, and some simpler ones. They do, however, all have the same basic themes and in some way include spaces. For instance, these samples include agreed objectives, agreed performance and personal development plans, review of performance against the objectives, review of achievements against the development plans. So these are the crucial informations that there should be in the performance management form when designing it. Don't forget that. So an example now, let us see. You will see now in the slide, there are some issues. There is this a sample of a form, performance and development agreement and review summary. They must include the name, the job title, the four names, also the department. So in the left side, name, job title, reviewer's name, and the right side there is forename, department, job title, performance and development agreement. Now there are some agreements now here: objectives, performance measures, competences, agreement actions, personal development plans, development needs, how it is to be met, action by who, target completion date. All this should be complied in what? In the performance management form. So that is the sample of the document that you will see in the slide now continuously. And also, a performance and development review comprises also a sample of objective, competences, achievements, action taken, development needs, comments by the reviewer, signed, a signature by the reviewee, date, signed, and then all the signatures, that all the arguments that are made, all the information that are agreed to make a sense of ownership between the two parts. All the forms should include the informations, and every part should be aware of what is inside the agreements of the document of performance management. Now let us look again to performance management and learning. It's very important. Performance management and learning. That was the comments. The first intro on administration of performance management. We have seen the managers, line managers, and the employees, what the document to make easy for implementation of it, to administer it. Let's move now to the performance management and learning. Performance management and learning. How this concept correlate? What the relationship between this performance management and the learning? What is inside the performance management? What makes performance management related to learning? That's very important. And let's make a look together. Helping people to learn through performance management. Helping people to learn through performance management. So Through performance management, when it's very well monitored, it is easier. People may be gaining some skills and knowledge within the performance management process. Jack Lawrence said, makes the important point that improvement and learning are causal related. Obtain the will to improve, and the process of learning will follow. He also believes that the experience of work always will provide the richest learning laboratory. Now, this is where performance management has a key role to play. First, by specifically helping people to appreciate the need for improvement, as we have been monitoring the performance management. That's very important. Well, now a person now sees, I need some knowledges, I need some skills to add more skills. So the needs for improvement and the where and the how it should take place. And second, by ensuring that they learn from experience. Through performance management, the whole process opens doors for learning for the people. Performance management can also help to identify specific training needs that can be satisfied by formal courses. And also, most important contribution of performance management is to help it provide to the development of climate for learning. So it makes now the climate for learning. Both the manager and the employees sees the gap easily through performance management process. Now let us see the learning opportunities from the performance management process. Learning opportunities from performance management. Performance management provides a learning opportunity during three main stages: performance agreement and planning, managing performance throughout the year, and the performance review. All these stages makes or creates an opportunity for learning to the people involved. Performance agreements. Let's start with performance agreement as a framework for learning. The learning opportunities offered by performance management are based on the initial activities in the performance agreement and the planning parts of the cycle. This includes a joint analysis of the individual. So we analyze an individual's role so that a new updated role profile can be produced. Areas where performance needs to be improved are identified, and the learning required to achieve this improvement is agreed. So through this performance management agreement, you may see now the opportunity of learning, of learning, of learning, of learning. Now let us see now the other stage in the performance management cycle. That is learning throughout the year. Learning is inseparable from activity, and like performance management, it is a continuous process. Every task carried out by some individual, someone presents a learning opportunity, and it is the duty of managers to help people become aware of this. They should enable people to understand how they should tackle a new task. Guidance can be provided by asking questions on what individual need to know and be able to do to undertake a task. That's all the process in learning throughout the year makes in performance management makes learning process easier to the employees. The other stage is performance reviews as learning event. This also offers a learning opportunity to the people involved. Performance reviews, whether conducted formally or informally, can be regarded as learning events. Learning opportunities are provided before, during, and after form meeting. Prior to a review, individuals can be encouraged to think about what they feel they want to learn, new skills they would like to acquire, and the direction in which they want to develop. All these stages offers opportunity for learning. Now let us move to the last part, this knowledge area. 3. Performance management and non-financial rewards. non-financial rewards. There are some allowances and other payments. So let us finalize this. Non-financial rewards are provided in performance management through recognition, the provision of opportunities to succeed, skills development, and career planning, and enhancing job engagement and commitment. All these are non-financial rewards and motivates much the employees in the organization. As officers, I'm talking to you, and CEOs, I'm talking to you this session. So you have to understand that these non-financial rewards in performance management are very crucial. So performance management offers these non-financial rewards. So through performance management, it is easier now to reward people, not by paying them, but by non-financial rewards, as we have seen. Performance management and recognition. Performance management involves recognizing people, achievement, and strength. And performance management and the provision of opportunities to achieve. All those are motivation. Performance management and skills development. Performance management can provide a basis for motivating people by enabling them to develop their skills. That is through performance management. Performance management also and career planning. Through performance management review, provide opportunity to discuss the direction in which the careers of individuals are going and what they can do with the help of organization. Performance management and job engagement. People are engaged with their jobs when they have an interest in what they do and a sense of excitement in their work. That can only be done through performance management. This can be created by performance management when it is concentrates much. Performance management and commitment. One of the prime aim of performance management is to promote commitment to the organization and its goals by integrating individuals and organizational objectives. That's all can be done through performance management. Thank you for being with me. Thank you for your participation. So see you in the next session. God bless you.